Okay, so this is going to be a super duper quick video in relation to whether you should choose Advanced English or Standard English. The biggest sort of decision I guess there is to make. Well, that really everyone has to decide between when they are starting year 11. So let's dive into it. Also, I'm mega time poor today, so I made this video in my car before I go to the lab, and I had breakfast with Ben, and yeah, so sorry. So basically, the main difference between Advanced English and Standard English is Paper 2, which is the second test in the HSC that you sit, because you sit 2 English tests. So the first part, which is the part about discovery or your area of study, as the Board of Studies calls it, is exactly the same. So you actually spend half your course doing exactly the same as the advanced course if you were to choose standard. So that's one reason I think you should sort of lean a bit more towards the advanced end of the spectrum. That way, like, if you're going to be seeing the same thing, like, you just kind of want to be scaled a little bit better. That's just natural. And sure, the other stuff is a little bit harder, but hey, like, if you're going to be doing the same thing, like, I would want to put myself around people who are really good at this, and would be in like the higher advanced class. So I want to surround myself with the people who are fantastic at this, and this is exactly what I did. Me and my friend Evan were kind of estranged in our English class. There was all of the Extension 1 and the Extension 2 kids, and that did that version of English, and we just felt out of our depth. Like, these people were ridiculously smart, and we just kind of like tacked onto what they said and let them sort of carry us through. So I benefited greatly from being in an advanced English class, whereas I don't think I would have had that advantage in standard English. Another major reason for you to possibly choose advanced English would be the fact that it scales a little bit better. Now, English is pretty hard for scaling because so many people do it, so you have to do pretty well to get an actual scale mark, or a mark that is scaled from what you actually got. So usually, you get 85, like 85 is your final mark. It doesn't move much. So, like, for example, in English, I got 91, smack on, 91, and it just stayed at 91, like, it didn't move much. So the converse of that is, in standard, you're more likely to get scaled down. I know a lot of people who got quite good marks, and obviously people's definition of what a good mark is will vary, but let's say like 75 to 80, and that was actually scaled down, which would be a pretty deflating feeling. And the point here is that when you do advanced English, when you do standard English, you have to do exceedingly well to stand out from the pack and not be dragged down. And that's what Shay did. Shay was very good, probably a little bit too good. He could have done advanced. But basically, he decided to focus on all of his other subjects, and when he did his standard, he blew it out of the water. Like, he was phenomenal versus everyone else, and that really helped him. But it's a lot of, eggs to kind of put in one basket and say, man, I have to smash it. And it's a lot of pressure. So, look, do what you think you're capable of. If you really think that you're not going to be good at Shakespeare and analysing text, and you think it'll just absolutely drive you through the mill, like, choose standard. But conversely, like, you can always drop down. So just, I reckon, start off with advanced. If you're really drowning, like, it's just year 11, doesn't really count towards much, then you can drop down. But I reckon stick with advanced, and try and put yourself in that positive environment where people want to learn. And I think that will benefit you greatly for your HSC. So stick in there, guys. I reckon advanced English is probably the way to go, but choose what you are most comfortable with. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.